Welcome all earthlings and other beings. My name is Lara, and this is Zollar Tarot and Art. And today I'm going to be reading your tarot and oracle cards in layers and tying that into an image that I received in meditation for this particular reading. There's a song associated with this as well, and that leads me to, and it ties in well with the actual image that I was seeing. So I'm just going to go ahead and start drawing the image a little bit, and then we're going to talk about all this other stuff. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing great. Also remember that this is a collective reading. It is not a personal reading. So, you know, there might be some, if you're here, there's probably something for you, but there might not be, all of it might not be for you necessarily. And apparently I'm having trouble drawing and talking today. So, but anyway, yeah, just take what works for you. And remember that he and she are interchangeable too. And I appreciate all of you being here. To listen to what I have to say and to watch me create these drawings. I hope you find something inspiring for yourself. So what I was seeing was this hand. And the hand was almost in like the okay symbol, you know, like everything's okay. But the problem was that it's really not okay. What I was seeing in this drawing, and I will fix these fingers. They're not. Okay, so what was happening was this arm, this hand was like, it had all these attachments to it and all of these like web like pieces coming off of it. It was completely tied up from all sides. Even the fingers were all wrapped up, and it's like this person's trying to, whoever this hand belongs to, they're trying to like give the okay, like everything is fine and everything, but it's really not. And the song that I was hearing, and it's just been blasting in my head, so I definitely know it's for the collective for this reading, is called Chandelier by Sia. And that song is about alcoholism. It's about, and I didn't know that at first when it started, like, you know, like it's got stuck in my head. And I had to go look up the lyrics and everything because I thought it was about something completely different. And it turns out that it's about addiction. And I knew that there was an addiction video coming up that I wanted to talk about. So anyway, let me just read the lyrics real fast before we do the spread. It says, "Party girls don't get hurt. Can't feel anything. When will I learn? I push it down. I push it down. I'm going to swing from the chandelier. From the chandelier, I'm going to live like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. Help me. I'm holding on for dear life. Won't look down, won't open my eyes. Keep my glass full until morning light. Sun is up, I'm a mess. Gotta get out now, gotta run from this. Here comes the shame, here comes the shame." So, okay, I've been in a long-term relationship before with an alcoholic. So I know how that goes. I know how it slowly deteriorates your life and everything it touches. It's very insidious and it happens in little chunks. And, you know, obviously, like what she says in the song, she's pushing it down. So I'm going to go ahead and do the spread, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more because there's some really interesting aspects to it. So to speed this up, I'm just going to go ahead and fast track this part of the layout. Here we go. Okay, I have laid out your cards with clarifiers. I can see a pattern here of someone who, and so it's either, this is either somebody who's dealing with addiction and trying to get over it, or this is somebody that you know. So just take it as it applies. But what I'm seeing here is someone who really wants to go, go, go. They, you know, it's like when she's singing that song about swinging from the chandelier, she wants to take action. She's passionate. You can hear it in the song. She's passionate. But this addiction that she has to alcohol is tearing her down, and she's shameful the next morning, and she doesn't know how to stop. and it's destroying her, and she knows it. So what I'm seeing here is someone who has to toe the line. You want to take action, but you can't. And on top of this, the clarifier is the Seven of Pentacles, and that's all about patience and letting things grow. And you have a lot of cards in here indicating a need to rest, a need to be patient, to take your time, to move slow. Yeah, even this card here, the Knight of Pentacles. This knight, the Pentacles, is a reliable knight, but they are very, very slow to get where they're going. See, he's not even on his horse. He's like, here, I'll show you. He's like walking barefooted on the grass and, you know, just sort of dropping pentacles here and there, dropping the seeds. So this is somebody who's needing to take some time to heal, because this is right next to the Star card here. The Star card's about, you know, healing and self-care. That's one of its meanings anyway. So, and this is having to do the work. So someone needs to do the inner work. And here's what I channeled yesterday, and I wrote down that I will read. It says, I like the term soul retrieval for the act of healing traumas. Instead of running from that experience of trauma, we call it forward, re-examine it from a loving place, and heal it with forgiveness of ourselves and others. It is alchemy to transform pain into power and reclaim that part of your soul. So soul retrieval, or going in and healing your traumas, which is another way to say it, is what is needing to go on here. This is what I'm seeing. And that is something you can't rush, because we have lots of traumas from our childhood. So first of all, I'd say take on the big ones. If you've been molested, abused, things like that. Those are the kind of the big ones where you need to go back in and look at it from a different perspective and take the time to heal it. So forgive yourself for whatever choices you made, or for interacting with the people who are hurting you, whatever happened, and then heal, and then forgive them too. Even though what they did might have been very wrong, and even though they'll never know that you've forgiven them or anything like that, you're forgiving them for yourself. So that's a very powerful place to come from. That's healing the traumas. But you really have to go in and look at them and take the time. Take the time. Stand your ground, create healthy boundaries, and take the time to heal yourself, right? Be strategic about it and come into your personal power, which is laying right over this Ace of Cups, which to me in this reading is talking about self-love. And that's clarified by King of Cups. This is about balanced emotions. But this is not going to be necessarily a fun process that you are either going through or will go through soon, because you're going to get rid of these addictions. So I know things like alcoholism, for instance. A person who drinks a lot of alcohol, or uses any kind of heavy drugs. I'm not talking about marijuana or anything like that, because those are not addictive and that doesn't do the same thing. I'm talking about alcohol and hard drugs, right? So anything like that, especially if it's something that makes you pass out, makes you vulnerable. It makes you vulnerable to lower level entities that you can't see that will attach to you. Only those who have the sight can see it. I've seen them. I've seen a couple of them, actually. The alcoholic that I was referring to earlier, that I had a long-term relationship with, I actually did see the entity that was attached to it, or attached to him, and it made him do things. I could see it like moving his hand and signing documents and doing things to influence him, and it's actually wrapped around his throat. So, and I know, because another person had verified seeing this thing, she didn't know that I had already that I already saw it, right? I didn't tell her anything, and then she saw it too. So that was confirmation on that particular one. And I was in a long-term relationship with somebody who had a sex addiction. Then they really tried to hide it. The alcoholic tried to hide their alcoholism too. They're very good at that. But the other person has a sex addiction, and they actually have a lower level entity attached to them too, which we might call a succubus or Jezebel energy, which I saw. So, you know, these things exist, and we can be in denial about it or not. But the thing is when you abuse your body and you abuse your soul and you abuse your life like that through addiction, and don't handle it, don't take care of it, and you're constantly running away from dealing with your childhood traumas and everything, guess what? The price is that you get taken over by lower level entities, because you're exiting your body all the time. That's not a really good idea and it's really hard to get rid of those entities when they're in there. So, and it can be multiple, not just one. Sometimes they can follow you around no matter where you go. And I know for a fact this is true. So, anyway, so what I'm seeing here is there's like all this passion that you or whoever this person is has, but they can't really move forward with the things they want to do in their dreams, because they're still dealing with this addiction. They need to bring justice to themselves. They need to have justice, right? They need to meditate and take the time to heal, you know, to access their true abilities. And it's showing me here that this person has all the, you know, things they need to actually kick this addiction. But they're going to have to, you know, they've got 2 cards here indicating an ego death. Yeah, so again, action, wanting to move forward, but you can't. There might even be someone that, you know, that you have feelings for or something like that, or this person has feelings for, but they can't really do anything about it because they aren't balanced yet, and there needs to be balance. So I'm going to go ahead and pull an oracle on this and see if there's more information. And, you know, that drawing that should be up right now and that I'm working on, the hand tied up with all the webbing and all that stuff, keeping it stuck, but they're still trying to like show a brave face, like everything's okay, right? That to me is like, that's definitely a symbol of, you know, being stuck in addictions, you know, and having to put on a lie, a face, a mask, so that other people don't really know the truth, because there is shame. And just what she said in the song, there's shame. Here comes the shame, here comes the shame. Right, so what else does this collective need to know, please? Okay, another one, please. You know, what happens when we bottle up all this passion and everything is we get to the point where we just want to roar, where we just want to like let go, right? You know, in clearing this up, you do need to clear up the inner traumas. It's saying, remember your innocence, right? Remember yourself as a child. And however you remember yourself as a child now, try to shift the way you look at yourself and remember yourself as being a cute little kid, how innocent you were, you know, how you didn't know all the dangers of the world yet, and you didn't understand why maybe the adults around you were treating you in a mean way or being abusive. You didn't understand that it wasn't your fault, right? And you carried that into your adulthood and never cleared that up. And so all the patterns of like heavy drinking and any kind of like substance that's used to drown out or like she says in the song, push it down, right? To push those memories down, those painful memories, is just going to make things worse. So, you know, any kind of denial of your true self. So try to see yourself as a, you know, a cute little kid, that you're very lovable and you were very innocent, right? And that'll help you tap back into yourself as a child so that you can go into those traumas and remember them a little bit differently, right? Use your cunning. So you're definitely a clever person. I don't think intelligence or being clever is a problem for you, but what I feel like is just like this, whatever this addiction is, and it could be sex addiction, it could be pornography, it could be maybe you're addicted to meat and caffeine. Those kinds of things are highly addictive, and they might be creating problems in your life. It could be other things that you're putting into your body, like lots of sugar, which sugar is, you know, looks a lot like the other white stuff, doesn't it? So, you know, you got to be careful about that as well, because I see that there's a huge amount of potential for what you can and will create or can create if you chose the path, but you know, you need to clear up those traumas. So let's see what the obstacles are on this, please. What are the obstacles? And by the way, I will list all of these cards down below because I like to acknowledge the creators of these decks. And that way you'll know what they are too. All right, what are the obstacles for this collective, please, with regard to this issue? What are the obstacles, please? Obstacles. Obstacles, please. Right. All right, so what I'm getting here is that there's a real lack of security. You don't feel secure. Maybe you don't feel insecure inside yourself, but also it's reflected out in your outer world as well, because no matter how much you try to keep a mask on, when you have an addiction like this, if you are around other people, they will know. I mean, unfortunately, one of the things that happens like with alcohol and stuff is like the alcoholic will say and do really nasty things because, you know, they've got entity attachments, right? Alcohol changes their brain chemistry too. And so they'll say all kinds of horrible things. And then the next day they've forgotten what they did, and or they're in denial about what they did, but everybody that they were nasty to gets hurt, and it just slowly deteriorates the relationships. This is what happened in my own. And then that alcoholic, as they get worse and worse and more in denial about what they're doing, and not taking accountability and everything, and just like pushing it down with their drink even more, or their drug, whatever their drug is, and everything. The more they lose the people that who are real quality in their life, they will lose the good things in their life. Yeah. So there's a lack of security here. You have 2 cards indicating that. Also, you seem to be having like problems with, you feel like maybe you have bad luck, but really it's not bad luck. You might have incurred some bad karma if you hurt some people, even if you don't remember it. But so you need to clear that up. But I'm seeing that you just are feeling kind of generally unlucky. But let's see what the solutions are. What are the solutions for this oracle, or I mean for this collective, please? Let's see what this oracle says. What does this collective need to know, please? Solutions are the best thing they can do for best results. Yeah, I really feel like someone needs to go listen to that song, Chandelier, and like really look at the lyrics and take it to heart. Okay, another one, please. Solutions, best thing they can do. And then another one, please. Best solutions. Right. Okay, those make sense. So we have generosity, joy, and acceptance, or maple spirit, hummingbird spirit, and starry night. You need to find as much happiness and joy as you can in your life. Even the little things actually add up. So I know when I've gotten over the hardest things in my life, not that I was getting over addiction, but other things, you know. Oh, well, you know what? I would say that I was trauma bonded in a narcissistic relationship, and that actually can act as an addiction too. So it might be that you are addicted to a certain type of codependency, right? Either you're the narcissist, or I don't think you are, but or you're the person who tends to like choose narcissists or have narcissists in your life, people who hurt you on purpose, people who drain your energy and your resources, people who get you into things like alcoholism, you know, who encourage bad behaviors and also probably have entity attachments themselves. So finding some joy in your life and accepting what is. So there's a certain amount of radical acceptance that needs to occur for you to break trauma bonds, to break addictions. You just have to look at things realistically. Yeah, that's I'm getting chills with that one. So and then here it says generosity. So generosity is not just being generous and kind to other people, but it's also being generous to yourself. One of the things that happens is when we feel really closed in and things are all bad and everything feels tight and stuff, is we forget to to be grateful and to be generous to ourselves, to be kind to ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves. That's what it's saying here. Remember your innocence, right? So remember yourself as a little child and see yourself that way. And then that way you can be more generous towards yourself. And you can see other people that way too. See the little child inside of them. And then you can be more generous to them because, oh, they're so cute. You know, it's so, and you were cute too. And the inner child in you is very cute and lovable and wonderful. And you'll see that more and more as you get away from whatever this addiction is, right? So radical acceptance, very important. Let's pull this one last deck and see if there's anything else that this collective needs to know. Now, I don't know who to recommend for addictions, different types of addictions. You can definitely find that online, or you might have friends who will know where to go for that. And I might even tack on something in the description box if I come across it that might help. But, you know, mostly just comes to self-love and coming back to yourself. Soul retrieval, right? Doing the inner work, doing the inner trauma work. Retrieve those pieces of your soul again so that you come back to being and feeling like a whole person again. All right, what do we need to know for this collective, please? Yeah, journey to wholeness. Didn't I just say that? Journey to wholeness. So you're pulling those pieces of your soul back to yourself and becoming whole again. Another one, please. Let's collective. Crystal keys. Interesting. Another one, please. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we talked about that. Now the crystal keys, interestingly enough, it's a 22, which is a master number, but crystal keys, I pulled the booklet out because I'm going to read that real fast. It says, Hidden wisdom codes, potent information, Lemurian seed crystals. See your triggers as a gift. Awareness of drama creating patterns, which we were just talking about. Awareness of drama creating patterns. So an addiction definitely would be that. Healing the earth by looking at your inner environment, and healing through awareness. So this is true. You know, it's like awareness is the first step to really get clearing out whatever these addictions are. Awareness and radical acceptance, right? And this card's saying ground yourself. Get grounded into the earth. Literally see roots growing from your feet into the ground as often as you need to. So what it's saying here is really ground yourself. Do the inner work and pull your soul back to wholeness. This is what you can do, and it's definitely doable. You know, I know you want to go, but you've got to take the time to be kind to yourself, to rest, to create healthy boundaries, and to let go of that addiction by letting go of the need for it, because you've addressed all of your childhood wounds and you've healed them up. You don't need alcohol anymore or any of those other things to drown all that stuff out and push it down. Right. Anyway, I hope this worked for you, and I hope that you found something inspiring for yourself, that this was helpful in some way. And I will go ahead and show you the finished drawing at the end of the video here, the colorized version. And thank you so much for everybody for being here, those who subscribe and like and comment and donate and all the things that you do, just being here and watching. I really do appreciate it. And definitely feel free to share the video with someone else you think might need to hear about this. So much love to you, and thank you for being here. Until next time, bye-bye.